Howdy, Ags. Welcome to the Aggie Central Postgame Reaction. I'm here to bring you that reaction we all hoped it would be because your Aggies went out and made a statement and turned the Kool-Aid right back on, and they went out and beat the number 13th team in the nation. So what a week it has been with that, a very good team coming in, all the distractions, the pot shots we took all week. Seemingly the whole world was waiting for us to fail. Went out and beat a top 25 team. So, um, this team's got guts. Not just the players. I mean the whole team. We saw something from Jimbo that should not go overlooked, and that's going to be a theme for tonight. We were all wondering if this team was lost, and where's the culture? That's what everybody's been talking about, as the suspensions loomed. Well, you know what? We went out in that game and they didn't even score a TD. So I'd say we weathered the storm pretty good. I mean, after we battened down the hatches, boarded up the windows, bought a generator, got out our 2 month backup supply of food. The Category 3 came in and we handled it like storm chasers. So, um, yeah, I'm not really seeing so much of the fruition coming true from all the detractors. Before we get though to the quick hitters and the rest of the reaction, just hit the subscribe button. I mean, it's free like all the crow that the detractors are drinking this week, but it tastes much better. So right off the bat, the offense is getting better. That should be obvious. Um, it's only going to continue, to be quite frank. The defense is good and can also be better, and the special teams is just outright deadly. Based off of that, I mean, what a turnaround from the week before when you had, the botched field goal attempt that would have tied the game, albeit a long kick. But wow, what a turnaround there! Probably the biggest turnaround there was. If it hadn't been for the kickoff return for a touchdown the week before against App State, we'd really be thinking like, where did this special teams come from? It's just crazy. This defense is just incredibly deep. Say it with me now, incredibly deep. And once this offense gets better, with Max in there, and this has got to be. I mean, this is the biggest talking story of the entire thing, right? Because Max comes in, he starts the game. What we had heard earlier in the week, although there was some back and forth, is Jimbo going to make any change? Is he capable of change? Guess what? He's capable of change. Everybody thought he was real stubborn. Well, look at all the change that was made. His top priority is winning ball games, and let's not go out and question that ever again. And when others do, we need to come running to that defense. That's the way I see it. So you probably noticed a few check downs this last week. You probably noticed an accurate delivery. Um, this is a place where we're just going to tell it like it is. I'm not sugarcoating stuff here. Um, I think the best thing about him is, a matter of fact, is that how pissed he gets whenever he makes a mistake. Uh, Mad Max, as they're calling him, right? And that's what I like to see. It also tells me that when he gets that mad, he knows he made a mistake. So if he knows what his mistake was, he's able to go correct it. Just small things make such a big deal. He's steady and he's covering a lot of mistakes for other people. Meanwhile, not making huge mistakes like fumbles and interceptions. I mean, this is everything we've been saying on this channel for sure, and you've been along with me for the ride, that I thought he was going to be and be able to give this team. So a little bittersweet that we're waiting this long to finally see it, but how sweet it is, and I can't wait to see what the top end is. We've been talking about potential, and finally we're starting to see some ability meet potential. You also saw that he knows where the ball needs to go, and he can sense pressure really well in the pocket, really well. He understands where it's coming from. He understands where it needs to go and how to get it out in a way that will um, be accurate and not put the ball at risk. So I can't. I can't be more excited about the way that started off. I wish this was game three for him right now. I really do. But I'll take it. I'm not spoiled. I know where we want to get this team, and I know where we've been. So we can all handle this. That is for sure. The offensive line still needs to get better. It was better. It was. And that helped out, I think, in large part because we had capable movement in the pocket from the QB. Um, Bryce Foster was a great addition to get back. You see this guy calling plays on the sideline, going over formations and talking with the coaches, telling them what's going on. But he's doing it on the line of scrimmage as well. And it's just been difficult to operate without that so far. It just has been. We had better play from Zune and Robinson and Aki. Also from Fatheroo, we did. We absolutely did. I think all of them need to get a little better, and they all have the potential to do that. Specifically, Robinson let a few go by that I think he's more than capable of getting. Maybe Zune too. Some things might have caught Foster a little bit by surprise, but his first game back, and it was still an upgrade either way. And if that's an upgrade, and we're starting there and with Foster, and we're gelling, look for improvement to take place, and we really do need it quick. And I was extremely pleasantly, not necessarily surprised, but glad to see how much um, progress they did make because they made it so quickly, and we're going to need it made quickly for this next game. So Arkansas, of course, coming in, going to be a tough one. The defense, they played so well. Um, we've been talking. I guess I've been hearing, anyways. They didn't get a lot of pressure, and we haven't got a lot of pressure all year. But you got to understand, there. A lot of times we're either going up against a 6 or 7 down lineman if you're going to count the tight end with that. And that's difficult to get around. So I'm not so much worried about the pressure. I would like to see a few more blitzes. I would like to see, some stunts, a little more creativity. And I'd like to move away from the three-man fronts. I just don't understand it when it's not an obvious passing situation. Maybe the statistics and they're running off of numbers thinking, well, we're in an obvious passing down, so therefore we're going to run three. But in this day and age, whenever you can, option out of things, it doesn't seem like that's the best place for us at the moment, especially when we can play man so well with our DBs. So um, that's me. As far as the defense goes, watch Jalen Jones. He came out and he looked like Jalen Jones of old to start off with. I think he had a PI. He had definitely an eye violation and missed that one wide right after they motioned across the field, and then he didn't come down to close off the edge and then let him get around him. But he played much better after that, and he's a tackler and he's a strong guy. He maybe not be the fastest guy, but um, I'm really interested to see what his upside is going to be with some additional work. So he's definitely one to keep an eye on. He was my first game person, one of four in the first game I had to keep your eye on because that would tell you exactly how good we might possibly be. So huge recruiting weekend, and the statements were widespread. Okay, not because it wasn't just by recruits, but we had the best class in for visits out of anyone in the country this last weekend. Um, Names you're all familiar with, we'll leave those to be. But they came in and saw 107,000 people in the best environment there is in college football. Absolute best. Packed to the gills was Kyle Field. We had more people at Yale practice than some have going to games, and that's not to boast. Okay, so we don't want to do that, but that the point is that you've got commitment behind, and you've people committed to making the best environment that we possibly can. And Miami fans noticed it while they were there. It's all I mean, all over Twitter, social media, everywhere. I mean, just talking about how spectacular the fans were, nice, courteous, generous, hospitable, um, and I don't know. Look, I mean, don't boast of prowess, bold. Just appreciate it and keep it. Okay, just that's where I want to put that there because it's the best thing there is, and um, we know how those lyrics go. So let's talk about the outlook. The best thing for me that came out of this when it comes to the outlook and results is 2 and 10, like we talked about beforehand, is off the table now. 2 and 10's off the table. That was clearly on the table whenever we were playing lights out, like literally our lights out on offense, and barely going to score a single TD. Um, but if we can get to the point of maybe putting up 24 to 30 points, there's going to be a real high upside still to this team. 17 is manageable, but let me tell you, if all we end up getting is 17, we're definitely going to lose at least 1 to 2 more sometime throughout the year. We got a lot of young players. We're allowed to be kind of up and down all year. Max will hopefully stabilize us a little bit, but with that youth comes some volatility. So they might play high one game, like against Miami, might come in a low the next game. So that's possible. But 17 points a game, it's going to leave a lot of strain on our defense. And if they have just a decent game, 20 points can beat us. So really want to get up into that 20 to 30 point range, and I definitely think it's possible at this point. It felt like it wanted to be in that game, don't you agree? Everything just felt easier. I did not feel it was a good feeling to have, but I did not feel we were ever really at risk of losing that game, to be quite honest. Felt that's my confidence level in it. So um, with this defense, um, there's a lot still in play, and the sky's the limit whenever it comes to our results based off of what we can grow our offense into, because this defense is extremely good. Um, 9 points on the day, no TDs. So um, that extra TD would come a long way. But we got to get that offensive line moving. We got to grow those guys. So Zune, Robinson get back to form we know they can be, and we will be in business. There's so much more to say, um, but look, I mean, I think the way we need to work this is our talking needs to all be on the field. And right now, look, I've got work to go do because I got to get you an Arkansas preview out hopefully by tomorrow. A lot of extra work putting in trying to get you a good product, so they're running me a little bit behind here. As you can see, I'm in a little bit different environment as well, so some changes happening my way as well. But if you want to get that, don't forget, like and subscribe, and I'll be hopefully bringing it to you tomorrow. And yeah, we'll see you then, getting us ready, prepared for the next challenge. So thanks and gig 'em.